Hi everyone, welcome back along to the channel. Today I am back out with my 045 finally. Seems like ages since I last used this thing. I think last time I was down the Beachy Head lighthouse. Unfortunately life has just been a bit manic since then. Stuff's getting in the way of all the free time, but slowly getting back to normal, hopefully. I'm in a wood today, funny enough, but unfortunately the light is fading faster than I had hoped, and I'm going to be pushing the film today to about an ISO 400. I've got Fomapan 100. I did a metered reading and that came out adding the reciprocity failure to the film at 14.5-minute exposures, which I don't really want. So pushing it to 400, I'm going to get a much shorter exposure time of around 6 minutes. So stays like this, I wish I'd grabbed the Ilford film. But we're going to see what we can find. I doubt I'll get many shots. Last couple of times I've come here, we've got lost, and the path I end up going down kind of doubles the whole length of what I want to do. So with the sun slowly drifting, I don't really want to get lost out here in the dark and then possibly have my car locked in the car park because they shut at a certain time as well. But we'll see what we can find. Hopefully you enjoy, hopefully I enjoy this, and we'll crack on. Let's see what we can find today. So the first photo I decided I was going to get was of this tree. It had some real nice roots reaching into the ground, and as I got here, some lovely light just coming in on the side. I decided I'd set my camera up here. I was going to go for the single layer on the 045, so it's going to be a real nice wide shot. So I had to get in real low on the tree just to try and capture as much as that as possible. By the time I'd set the camera up and was taking the shot, this light had kind of gone. Unfortunately, as it does, it moves and it went behind another tree. But I also placed these leaves just on the base just to try and add a bit of interest into the photo as well. So my second photo in the woods, I came across this little bridge which crosses a little stream. As I got here again, I had some nice light coming in on the side, and I thought this would actually make quite a nice photo. So I crossed over to the other side, and a view kind of looking more into the wooded area. Unfortunately, again, a cloud had actually come over this point, and that direct sunlight had gone. But I still had an exposure time of around 2 minutes for this one, still pushed to ISO 400. I normally shoot shots like this in a landscape format, but decided to keep my camera in the portrait as I felt it was going to kind of lead through the image a bit better. The pathway was quite nice, and normally in landscape you just kind of get the railings dominating the image. But I thought the path looking forward up to this tree just in front, still with the super wide front on the 0, would hopefully make quite a nice shot. was going to try and have a go on the rope swing, but I can't reach it, so I'm not going to fall in. So I've actually been lost for the last half an hour or so. I was going down a path which I was meant to be following. Decided to detour off that path just a little bit to see something, and I passed a lady by herself who looked a little bit uncomfortable with a weird man with a box on a stick. So I politely said hello and carried on walking, and she went down the path I was meant to be going. I thought it wouldn't be, I wouldn't want to make her feel more uncomfortable by turning back around and following her, or seeming like I'm following her down the path I needed to go. So I carried on down the path with no clue where I was, no clue where I was going. The Maps app was struggling to locate me, but I've eventually cut down a few others and found myself back to where I need to be. But it's got too dark in the woods now for any more, so I'm hopefully going to find my car in a minute, and I might just try and get another couple of pictures somewhere else quickly before my batteries on my camera run out as well. And hopefully we've got at least a good four today. So we'll see how it goes though. If in doubt, go to the beach. So I'd actually planned on, when I left the woods, maybe to stop somewhere else. But where I was planning, I wasn't quite sure where it was. And basically shot straight past it, and there was nowhere to pull up or turn. Then I thought, I went past the play park, I thought I'd get some pictures there, but you always look like a bit of a weirdo in a play park with a camera, especially when you don't have your kids with you. So I decided not to do that, so I've ended up at the beach. So I'm going to try and get a couple of photos. The sun is setting pretty quick, so I'm going to quickly see what I can find. Battery on this is running out very fast, and see what we can find quickly. So on the beach I switched up to the 2 layers, the 50mm, and I had exposure times of around just 4 seconds. Which was more than enough actually. For this particular shot I was just timing it so as the waves were coming up you get quite a bit of motion there, you're still capturing the stones, so as the water then goes away you should get a bit of a ghostly image and still be able to see the stones and kind of the roughness of the waves just sitting above them. So for my final image I came across this little boat parked on the beach. Normally boats are parked facing upwards or downwards, but this one was sideways and the front of it just kind of caught my eye. There's a little logo on it, Adventurer, this nice kind of chained rope coming off the front and still with the view going out to sea. So I decided this could be quite a nice shot, just with the half the image being the front of the boat and the rest just being the beach and leading out to the sea. So that's my 4 photos done for the day. It's not going to be far off and it'll be too dark to get any more, I think. So that's all 4 pushed to ISO 400 from the box speed of 100. It's going to increase the developing times as well. I'm not sure what much of a look it will give to the film. I know it can make it a bit more grainier, so we'll have a look, a bit more look and detail on that. But hopefully it's come out right. I'd say the advantages and disadvantages in the woods is certainly a big advantage to be able to push the film or I would have been in there for hours, I think. But on the beach, I like the longer exposures, and they're just maybe a little bit too short for me. But they're fine. I was getting about 4 seconds down on the beach, which was good enough. So yeah, we'll get them home, get them developed, and take a look. Now, two of the main differences when pushing film are: one, you're metering it at a different speed to what the box says. So in my case, I was shooting a 100 speed film at 400, so that's 2 stops up. Secondly is development time. You need to increase that to compensate for your different metered speed. And looking online, there are various different opinions on how much you should extend that per stop. Some people were saying 20%, a few others were saying 50%. Quite a few seem to say work around the 30% mark. So for me, I was developing in Ilford DDX, and that is 8 minutes with Fomapan 100 at 20 degrees. So I needed to add 60% to make up for the 2 stops on top of that, which gave me a development time of 12 minutes 48. I decided to round it up to 13 minutes just to be on the safe side. A couple of things I was worried about with pushing the film is it generally does increase the contrast. Being in the woods, I was a bit worried about that. It was quite dark. And the other thing was generally it increases the grainy look of the film. I'm not a big lover of grainy look myself. I know some people absolutely love it. It's not something I particularly push for. I'll avoid it more if I can, which is why I've probably never pushed film before. So I was a little bit worried about what these shots were like, especially I think the graininess in the woods would probably get lost a little bit, but on the beach I thought it might show up quite a bit. But we'll have a look through them and see what they look like. So this is my first shot from in the woods, and something you may notice straight away is the slight double exposure here on the trees, particularly this one to here. So what actually happened there was, as I started taking the photo, within the first, I'd say 10-15 seconds, I noticed the tree wasn't central to the image. I quite like my shots to be quite central, and it was something that kind of bugged me straight away. So I decided to close the shutter, adjust the image, and retake it. I thought for a shot which was going to be 6 minutes long, it wasn't going to be that much of an issue, but clearly it's picked out on them highlights pretty quick. You can see the tree trunk coming up here. This will be from the second part, and obviously all the highlights have come straight through. So looking past that though, I'm actually quite pleased. It could have worked better with the light. Certainly some extra light down here. I've been tempted in the past to bring a flash gun with me just to kind of try and light these areas up again, but unfortunately the sun had kind of vanished off before I could capture it. But looking in on the shot, I'm actually, I'm pleased with it. It could have worked better if I thought a bit more about it as I was before I opened the shutter, but we learn from our mistakes. So the second shot, going over the bridge, I'm really pleased with. Like I said when I was talking over it, I'd normally do a shot like this in landscape. The problem is you end up with a lot of railing kind of dominating the sides of the image, particularly shooting quite wide. So with this in portrait, you get a lot more of the path leading through up to these trees around here. A bit of a reflection down in the water, which I quite like. Unfortunately, this side of the image is a bit dark, but it was kind of to be expected because it was in a bit more of a shaded area. but I'm actually quite pleased with it. Looking in on the detail a little bit, it's not as grainy as I was dreading. There's quite a good detail in there, especially, you know, this is from a pinhole camera, there's no lenses, and the contrast is quite nice of it all as well. So heading to the beach, this was my first shot, and I'm actually really pleased with this. You can see all the stones just sitting under the water here, as I was hoping. This is where the waves just crashed in and drawn itself back out again. And you can still, because this is just a 4-second exposure, you've still got some motion of a little wave coming in over here. If you're looking close, you can see some water coming through the groin over here and splashing around them here. And again, I was expecting a lot more grainy in the sky, but it's actually come out really nice. Got a bit of hair there to clear up. It's come out really nice, much better than I expected. There's quite a lot of detail in it, so I'm really pleased with that. Really pleased with it. So my final image was the adventurer boat, and again it's a shot which I'm really pleased with. I think it works quite well myself. Again, my concerns with the grain, it's, you know, it's come out, you know, really nice. The whole look of the image I really like. Yeah, so I'll definitely be pushing this film again. I've got no concerns about it at all. I don't think I'd go much more than 400. I might try 800 at one point, see what it looks like to compare, but overall, I'm really pleased with the results. So that is everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed. Please subscribe. If you'd like to see the photos and more photos, I'll be putting all these over onto my Instagram page, which I'll link below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time I'm out.